Amazing. Look at that.
China is not the growth engine that it used to be. China actually declined 4% in 2017, so that's something that's quite unprecedented for the industry. Lots of the huge new names in smartphones like Xiaomi, Oppo, Huawei, that's their core market in China, so it's really worrying for them. But you know, for smartphones as a whole globally, it's a clear sign that we're hitting a point of smartphone fatigue now. People have phones that they're capable, they like to use, and they're not refreshing them nearly as quickly as they used to.
Very much. Thanks a lot.
The consumer landscape is completely saturated now with smartphones. It used to be that it was just urban areas, but then brands like Oppo and Vivo took it out to tier 3, tier 4 cities, rural areas. Everybody has a phone now, and phones are good enough, and improvements in new phones are not good enough, that people just won't upgrade with the frequency that they used to. So the life cycle of a phone is really extending, and that's a huge challenge for the vendors in that market. Typically, when we get to this stage in a market where it becomes cyclical, hyper-aggressive, hyper-competitive, it's the small companies that get killed. So you could draw a parallel to the PC market, where when a market declines, the top guys, the Dells, the HPs are fine, but the Toshibas and Fujitsus just fall out the bottom. And in smartphones, it's going to be the same. You know, you can see it happening already. The Samsungs, the Apples, the Huaweis of the world continue to make money, continue to drive their average selling price higher, but you see the HTCs and the Sonys and the LGs falling through the floor because there just isn't the volume there to support them anymore.
We're seeing people invest in different sensors, in different optics, in different software to process the images and do very clever things. And in some ways, smartphones are innovating on a completely different track to the camera market, and they're doing things the camera market hasn't yet done. In other areas, we see expertise in the camera market being applied to the smartphone. But it's one of the areas where there's the most potential, I think, to improve, where consumers care about it, and also where it helps the handset makers persuade someone they need an expensive smartphone. The question is, what's next? Are they going to stay kind of immovable black monoliths? Or are they going to have movable parts again? Are we going to have the return of clamshells? Are we going to have foldable screens coming in, creating new form factors? That's the big question. And if you talk to display companies, they are very actively investing in technologies to enable new smartphone form factors. The question is, will they work? Will they be robust enough to be used thousands of times, many times a day? And will consumers like the idea of having a different design for the smartphone?